Sarah's Weeknight Meals is made possible by Sunsweet and
Cooking is the first kind of love you know. It was starting when I was a child, with my grandmother doing fresh pasta, and now I transmit it to all the guests. It's something made specially for them.
Oceana Cruises, proud sponsor of Sarah's Weeknight Meals.
Lovers of Miami love Cuban food, and so do I. Today we'll discover both by tasting our way through Miami's Little Havana neighborhood. Starting with Cuban coffee that's like rocket fuel.
Whoa!
Moving on to empanadas, ice cream, mojitos, and Cuban sandwiches. Don't mind if I do.
Very nice.
Maricel Presilla is a legendary Cuban cook. She's in my kitchen today with a zucchini and sofrito dish you don't have to be a vegetarian to love.
And so spicy.
Whoa, is that wonderful?
Cubans adore their abuelas. Later in the show, I'm cooking with the real deal. Lucilla Jimenez cooks a dish she learned from her own grandmother back in Cuba.
Camarones Enchilados, which is shrimp and garlic and Sofrito sauce, which is like
Yummy.
Plus,
plátanos maduros. We have plantains every day in one way or another.
Salud, amor y pesetas. Salud, health, amor, love, and pesetas is wealth or money.
What else do you need?
delicious Cuban food today on Sarah's Weeknight Meals. The sun, the surf, the palms, the sand. There's nothing like Miami. It's home to the best Cuban food in the country because in the 60s, thousands fled Castro's Cuba to make a vibrant home here on Calle Ocho, Little Havana. Today, I'm tasting my way through it at the legendary El Pub with Grace Della, the founder of Miami Culinary Tours.
You know, I'm gonna get you started with some café cubano.
I love that.
And you always get little cups and then a big cup. It's meant to be shared. Never drink from the big cup, otherwise everybody will know you're visiting. It's very strong, so be ready, okay?
No, I like my coffee.
Good morning.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
Café cubano.
Whoa. There is a lot of sugar in them there hills.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, is that like half sugar?
Yes, absolutely.
Woo!
And very strong, right?
I'm loving it, but I have to be honest, normally I drink my coffee black with nothing in it. Nothing. Okay then. I'm not responsible for my actions after this.
You know, by default, they serve it with sugar.
Yes.
You know, we call this also like a wake-up call.
I should say so. You're gonna have to peel me off the ceiling. Why are we starting here?
This is called El Pub Restaurant. They've been here for 25 to 30 years. Locals come here to have, you know, that great Cuban food that they miss from home. You will see the same faces for many, many years. When you come here, we do like locals. We stand at the coffee station. We have some café cubano, and then we'll have some empanadas.
For breakfast?
For breakfast, of course.
Of course. Alrighty then.
These are the classic Cuban empanada. They're made with ground beef and sofrito sauce, red bell peppers, olive oil, garlic, cumin.
So we have the very sweet coffee and the...
And the saltiness of the picadillo. It's a perfect Cuban combination.
Okay, all right.
Now I'm gonna bring you to the new part of Little Havana. Look, azúcar. You have Celia Cruz on the wall.
Great singer.
Great Cuban singer. She used to scream the word azúcar, which means sugar, and here we are.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Now the flavors are super creative. Burning hell fidel, sweet plantains, plátanos maduros, or flan. She perfected those flavors by asking the elderly in the neighborhood, does it taste like in Cuba?
How smart.
Yeah. I'm gonna make you try today one called Abuela Maria. Very sweet, sugar.
Oh, geez. I'm still recovering from the coffee.
So you're having guava, cream cheese, and Maria cookies. Now that's a very popular Cuban dessert.
Delicious.
In the form of an ice cream.
Wow.
to really feel the energy of Little Havana, let me bring you to Ball and Chain.
There's always a party here because there's live music with no cover 90 hours a week. When owner Bill Fuller reopened Ball and Chain, he kept its historic vibe.
Billie Holiday, Count Basie, Chet Baker, Lena Horne all played here.
Wow. And wasn't that unusual for the time?
So the last owner of the Ball and Chain was a man by the name of Henry Sheckman. Henry was very sensitive to the black entertainers at the time, especially at a moment when they weren't able to stay at hotels in other parts of the city, including Miami Beach. Henry accommodated them at the Tower Hotel, and then many times they would come over here at night and actually play. Henry's son was once babysat by Billie Holiday, which we always thought that was such a cool thing to be able to say.
This is the place to party in Miami. And a mojito pairs perfectly with that.
Is this the famous Cuban sandwich?
You got the medianoche, which in Spanish in Cuba meant that they made these sandwiches at midnight when they came back from work. The bread is sweeter. So you have pork, cheese, pickles, mustard, and ham.
Very nice. I'm impressed, huh?
Yes, so then the softness and sweetness of the bread combines perfect with the saltiness of the pork.
I'm loving Little Havana and its food, but it's time to cook.
What makes many of my guest Maricel Presilla's dishes so special is the thoughtful combination of fresh ingredients she uses in her recipes. Like, we were making some amazing vegetarian zucchini dish today.
Which was a desperation meal.
What do you mean?
A desperation meal for my husband on a day where I didn't have any protein in my refrigerator. I'm not a vegetarian.
No, I was
so I need
like
chicken, beef, or pork. But I have a garden, and I went to my garden and I found this oversized zucchini. It was like a little piglet.
I would have put that right in the compost
Like a
heap.
2-pounder. And I had cherry tomatoes, and of course, in Cuba, we make a cooking sauce, Sofrito, with very small tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. And I like the wild taste of the cherry tomatoes. And I started looking in my pantry, and sure enough, I had everything I needed for a fabulous vegetarian meal with a lot of spirit and backbone.
Well, there you go. All right, so I'm excited, and I love I like eating more vegetable. I love vegetarian.
So I have been getting my fresh oregano ready, but before that, I pounded about 4 garlic cloves to a paste, and I'm a mortar and pestle girl, while you are a knife woman.
No, I'm a knife girl. You're a mortar and pestle girl. There you go.
Chopping releases a set of aromas, and pounding like this does something completely different.
Do you need me, meanwhile, to get some oil?
What I like you to do is pour about a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil.
Okay, yep.
I haven't turned this into a pulp, really.
No.
I want a little bit of texture. I want people to find pieces of garlic here. And I think this is the right moment.
Okay.
And this is about 10 seconds.
All right, and then the onions?
I just want you to add the onions right now.
Onions go right in.
I like to cut them in a julienne because this way I will basically use them as a vegetable as opposed to a simple ingredient for a cooking sauce. Now, a good Cuban sofrito needs to have time. You need to soften the onions, but then go even further and sometimes caramelize the onions. But we're gonna treat this in a lighter way.
Okay, we're gonna do it more quickly, is what you're saying.
Exactly, because I want the vegetables, the onion to have a character of its own.
Right.
I don't want it to disappear.
And sofrito is your sort of, what does it literally mean? Sauce?
It means that you're sauteing a number of flavoring vegetables. Garlic and onion is a very ancient medieval.
And they're always in a
cooking
sofrito.
Sauce. You always saute them. And of course, in the medieval sofrito, you only had onions or leeks and garlic. But of course, this is an American ingredient. Okay, let's add it.
In go the tomatoes.
Exactly, this is gorgeous.
Okay.
Now we're gonna season this, about a teaspoon of sea salt.
Okay.
I am going to add cumin, which is essential in the Cuban sofrito. About 1/2 teaspoon. I'm gonna add like a little pinch of allspice.
You know, that's interesting to me. I associate allspice with
and a 1/4 teaspoon
Jamaica.
of Well, Jamaica and my hometown are very close.
This is true.
Santiago de Cuba, you know, we're right across from each other.
And allspice, for those people who don't know, is actually a berry, right?
It is a berry.
And it tastes like...
It tastes like many spices, that's what it's called in English, allspice. We call it pimienta gorda, the fat pepper.
The fat pepper, that's
fat
funny.
pepper. And one thing that we also love is oregano. So I'm adding fresh oregano, about 1 tablespoon. You see, I want the oregano to be seen.
Okay. Okay, so you didn't chop it. I see what you're saying.
No, I did not.
Now, you have 2 restaurants and a sort of grocery store in Hoboken.
Yes, I opened a store called Ultramarinos.
Okay.
Which means from beyond the sea.
Okay.
It's right next to Zafra, my firstborn.
Zafra.
Zafra.
Okay.
Yes, that's the Cuban place. 5 years ago, I opened Cuchara Mama, which means mother spoon, which is a South American place.
Mother spoon?
Mother spoon.
Why mother spoon?
Because I was doing research in the Andes, in Cuenca, in Ecuador, and women there use gigantic spoon, not tiny like this, but huge, to stir soup, and it's called the mother spoon.
Well,
but
that
they
makes
use
sense.
it to hit their husbands when they get drunk.
Okay,
and,
good. I like that.
And to, you know, when
multi-purpose spoon,
when the kids,
yeah.
So I thought that it was really representative of the women who cook, the women who cook well and have control over their lives and kitchens. We have big spoons everywhere in the restaurant.
Okay, does this go in now?
It goes in there. I want you to do something for me now.
Yes.
I want you to stir.
Okay.
While I make something very special called picada.
Okay.
A picada, it's a Catalan preparation.
Okay.
It's kind of a secondary cooking sauce that adds texture and flavor at the end of the cooking process. And for that, basically, all you need is a little bit of garlic. We have some toasted almonds right here.
We toasted them in the oven?
Exactly.
Okay.
And a surprise ingredient, which is a...
What is that?
These are cacao nibs.
Oh, my goodness.
These are the roasted and peeled cacao beans have been crushed into nibs, about a 1/4 cup of this. If you don't have this, if you cannot find it in a specialty store, you can use what is called raw chocolate. This is Ecuadorian raw chocolate. This is 70%, but you can use 100% too. Just basically, actually, we can, for the heck of it, we can.
Why not?
Add a little bit of this.
I'm fascinated by this.
Yes. It will add depth and character to this dish. And what I need now is parsley. And you know your
I'll get it right
refrigerator,
here. Yes, I do. Let me get you some parsley. So, dare I say this is a little bit like when the Mexicans add chocolate to their mole?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What is the purpose of it? It's to deepen flavor, to add color. Yes.
Just like this?
Yes.
Okay, flat leaf parsley, there we go.
Exactly. So you don't need to do a paste. You know, you just need to crush this. The name picada means chopped. So we're basically chopping with our mortar and pestle.
Yes.
I love it. And I think it's something that belongs to women. Look at the shape.
Yeah.
While a knife is something that belongs to a man, I think.
Right. Wow, that's really getting fine.
It's getting fine.
You got some muscle in there, huh?
Absolutely. This is
girl.
a good pestle.
Yeah.
So now we're ready to stir this
in there.
And I'm just gonna add this. I think this is
That's
plenty.
the right amount. Okay.
But let me stir it
up to.
So this is our backbone. This is the mysterious ingredient.
The je ne sais quoi.
Exactly.
And do we want to add our?
So now we're gonna add about a cup of water or chicken broth. If you're not a strict vegetarian, of course. You would
or
do
vegetable
that.
broth.
Or vegetable broth.
Okay. There we go.
That's it. This is just perfect at this point. So we'll cover it.
Okay.
And actually, you know what I should do? It's I was planning to do this at the end, but I like to do it here.
So what was that?
This is one serrano.
One serrano chili.
Finely chopped. So you could do it at the end, but I think it's
You just felt like adding it.
Yes, absolutely.
I can see you're a wild woman in the kitchen.
Yes,
you just
I
sort
am.
of keep changing your mood and doing something else.
That's what cooking is all about.
It is.
So it's 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, we're just going to wait.
In the meantime,
yeah,
I want you to make a chiffonade with the
zucchini blossoms. Okay.
And you know what else would be fantastic? If we had tomato leaves.
I've never heard of that before.
They're so amazing as an ingredient. They have a tomatoey essence. So we're gonna leave about 3 for garnish, and the rest, let's do a nice chiffonade.
So you just want a very thin slice.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we'll do it we'll just stir it at the end, because I don't want them to overcook.
Okay.
They'll become limp.
And this adds a very delicate, nice taste.
And also beautiful color.
These are fun. This is what turns into a zucchini.
Oh, I stuff them with cheese. I batter fry them, use them as garnish, eat them raw.
Do you think it's ready yet?
I think I need to taste it.
You must.
So
Okay, here we go.
tasting spoon, please.
And that was homemade chicken broth. I just love working with it. I think it makes such a difference.
Wow, it's perfect, Sarah. And so spicy.
Whoa, is that
Yes.
wonderful?
I mean,
I
the
love it.
cayenne and the serrano.
But you know what? But I think it's
Fabulous.
balanced because there's sort of natural
I
sweetness
would put
in
like
there.
a pinch of salt, more, a little bit more.
I will do that. And then shall we plate up?
Absolutely. But let's add the
You want that to go right on top? Boy. So you just use
Look at
them all the
this.
time?
This is
oh
so
my gosh.
gorgeous.
That gets like an A+ in visuals.
Yes, this is just beautiful.
We're going to serve the rice on the side, is what we said,
On
right?
the side. What you can also do is have some napa cabbage.
Okay, you put those on however you want.
Like this.
Oh, that is so pretty.
And like this.
Wow.
No, actually,
This is very
this
exciting.
way. I would like to add a little bit of the
Oregano on top.
Oregano.
Yeah, just for a little more green.
exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna put that. And we've got some
Oh,
rice over here.
delicious.
Wow, that looks
And if you have some avocado, that would be also nice.
lovely.
The year was 1960. Castro's revolution had changed Cuba forever. But 13-year-old Lucilla Jimenez's mind was not on politics, but parties and boys. One in particular, a young medical student bound for the U.S. Thousands of Cubans fled to Florida then, and eventually so did Lucilla. Here she is in Key West the day she arrived. And the medical student? They reunited and married. 50 years later, 7 grandchildren call her Abuela. Along the way, she started a successful chain of bakeries in Miami. She still loves cooking the dishes she learned from her own grandmother back in Cuba. This is one of them.
What are we making today?
Camarones Enchilados, which is shrimp in a garlic and Sofrito sauce, which is like Creole.
Yummy, yummy. Okay. So you're getting the garlic ready and I'm getting the onion ready.
1 large onion.
And is this a typical Cuban dish?
Yes, it is. And I remember back in Cuba, the seafood, shrimps, and all of that was a lot cheaper to buy. So people did eat a lot of seafood and fish. At least in my house, we did, because my parents loved it. So we're going to add half a cup of olive oil.
Okay, we need to let it heat up for just half a second. So tell me about sofrito. It's
You know, everything that you have in Cuban cooking, you use a sofrito more or less.
so sofrito is essentially vegetable.
Vegetables, yes.
Always onion, always pepper.
And always garlic and tomato sauce.
That's a lot of garlic.
I chopped 6 cloves of garlic and a light green pepper.
Garlic is very Cuban also, right?
Very Cuban, yes. We can do a lot of things with garlic.
So how long do we cook this now before we add the
No,
red peppers?
only a couple of minutes.
Just till it
Only-
wilts?
Yes, until it wilts a little bit, and that's it.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, does that look pretty good?
Yeah, that looks pretty
nice
good.
softened?
We can put the roasted peppers.
I've chopped 2 big roasted red peppers.
We're going to add a can of tomato sauce,
So that's 15 ounces,
and we can put the wine, a cup of wine.
cup of wine, dry white wine.
Yes, I'm going to tell you what I do at home.
Yes.
That is put the wine in the can.
What a
Clean
brilliant
it up.
idea. Because there's
And-
all that stuff
Yeah, all
left
that
in there.
stuff.
So I'm also going to make sure it all goes in there. I'm going to,
And you get everything in there.
yep.
Yeah, good. The bay leaves and the salt
Okay,
and,
1 bay leaf.
and a little bit of crushed pepper.
Oh, and you run it between your hands?
Yes.
You're a brave woman. Okay, and then how much salt? I'm going to let you do the salt. Hefty pinch.
Right.
Okay, and then how long does it simmer?
I would simmer it for 15, 20 minutes.
Wow, so
And
simple.
then it is very easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
I'll give this
easy
back
to
to
do.
you for future
Very
reference.
tasty. Actually, you can add more salt. You can add more pepper if you like more peppery. That is depends on your own taste.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know.
Okay, so we're now going to make some.
The plantain.
Okay, so
That's
we
my
need a second.
favorite part.
I'm going to move this back here and bring
Yes.
forward the plantain pot. And the dish that we're doing with them, what's its name in, what do you say in Spanish?
Plátanos maduros.
Maduros. What does the maduros mean?
Ripen. And it's one of my favorite dishes. Not only the plátanos maduros, but all the plantains. You know, all the plantains are really good.
I'm going to watch you now.
Just cut both ends.
Both ends off.
And this is the perfect blackened for maduros, you know? And you just slice it a little bit.
You can't just peel it. You have to
No, you have
cut
to
the
slice
skin,
it.
cut
Yeah.
the skin.
And this is easier,
You did it on 2 sides or just one?
one side.
Oh, you just did one slit down the back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you just peel it with your hands?
And just peel it with your hand.
Wow, these
That's
are
it.
very soft.
Yes, these are good. Otherwise, if they're not this ripe, you know, they don't taste as sweet. And you slice it like this.
You did it sideways.
Sideways.
So at a huge angle is what you're
Yes.
doing. About how thick? About
about-
a quarter of an inch?
Yeah.
Yeah, third of an inch. Okay, does that look okay?
Yes, that looks beautiful. Yeah.
It's $3.25. Should we put the plantains in?
Yes, sure, we can put them in.
Oh, they're perfect. And they take about how long?
About 10 minutes.
Tell me about plantains.
You can have it ripe and fry like this. You can have it green and
Let's line them up. Let's take a look at
you
these
have
three
it
guys.
green. You can have, and the very ripe ones, the ones that we're using here.
Okay, so what do you use these guys for?
That one we use it for tostones, which is twice fried green plantains, or we can use it for chips, you know, for like potato chips, but we call it mariquitas.
So this is closer, it's very starchy. It's like
Yes.
more like a potato.
Yes.
Okay. So it goes from very starchy to very sweet.
Very sweet. My great-grandmother died at 97. She always had one of this at night, you know, dinner time, chop it up in like 3 places, boiled, and she said that was the secret to her longevity.
Oh, geez. Okay, I have to start investing in green plantains. Or is it plantains? How do you-
Plantain.
Plantain. Those look like they're sort of done.
Yes.
Are they?
Yeah.
So what do we do now? We need to
We
drain
put
them.
Yes. Actually, I'm gonna bring them one by one so I can put them separated.
Oh, I see. Otherwise, do they all sort of smush
Yes.
together?
Yes.
And how do you serve these in a meal? As a side dish? As
As
a
a side
garnish?
dish. Yeah. Okay, we're all done in here.
Okay. Wow. All right. Well, I am going to go back and get our sofrito,
Yes.
and we are going to continue with that dish. And let me get the shrimp. Let me turn this back on.
Yes. And this looks good.
That looks wonderful. So the shrimp just go right in there now?
Yes.
And these
This
are
is boiling.
peeled and deveined shrimp.
Yes.
So I see what you mean. If you made it ahead of time,
Right.
you just heat it up, throw the shrimp in, and boom, you're
Right.
done.
And boom, is done.
We need to make a little
Yes.
garnish, right?
Yes. Some lime and some parsley.
Chop a little parsley.
Yes. That would be nice. See, these are almost done, and these are baked shrimp.
Yeah. It's not a spicy cuisine, though, is
No,
it?
oh, Cubans, it's not spicy at all. A lot of people ask me, you know, it's like Mexicans, and not at all.
Yeah.
This is done.
All right, so should we grab, we've got 3,
Sure.
and I'll put some rice. We'll just do 2. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we put rice in the bottom.
Yeah.
It smells good.
That'll be good.
All right. And you'll do the shrimp, and then we will garnish. We're all set up outside. We can eat outside.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
It's a beautiful day out.
It is. The weather in Miami is just,
Yes.
so there's, oh, that's pretty. So little, oh, that is gorgeous.
And
And how simple was that?
yes.
Okay.
Lemon in there. And we can put our plantains. Even they look very, very dark, that's the way it is cooked.
Okay. Do we serve them on the side?
Yeah, we can put them on the side. So,
We'll do
yeah.
that. Let's go put
Okay.
these on the table, and then
Okay.
should we take this all out to the
Yes.
backyard?
Let's go.
Okay. Well, Lucilla, who is this handsome young man?
Well, he has been hanging around for 51 years already.
Really? Oh, my goodness.
This is my husband, Andres.
Oh, Andres, so nice to meet you.
pleasure.
Let's have your wife's yummy food.
Yes.
I can't wait to try it. I'm sure you're a spoiled man. Oh, that's so good. And that was so easy. Tell me, though, I have to ask you, what is it about Cubans and plantains? It's
Well, we have plantains every day in one way or another.
every day.
Practically, yeah. If you don't have it at one meal, you can have it in another meal. And plantains are such Cuban thing that when somebody is married to an American or another country, and people get used to the Cuban food and to the Cuban dance and things like that, said, oh, he's so aplatanado.
Aplatanado.
Right, that is like a plantain.
Wow.
So it is really, it's a term already that we use in here all the time, you know.
So you first came over to the United States when you were 15.
Right.
And then how did you meet your husband?
Oh, we met way back in Cuba when I was 13.
Woo! Excuse me.
I was only 15.
He was only 15.
I don't know about that. My goodness, so you really have been sweethearts forever.
Yes.
So Lucilla, I know you had 4 bakeries, and you still bake.
Yep.
Tell me what's in that cake. I can't wait.
It's a rum cake.
Rum
And
cake.
it's really good, really moist.
And it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's next. But meantime, I just want to thank you both for joining me. However, I have a question. Is there a Cuban toast?
Salud, amor y pesetas.
Okay, I like
Amor
that.
y
But now
pesetas.
okay, but tell me now, what does it mean?
Salud, health, amor, love, and pesetas is wealth or money.
What else do you need? I like that.
That's right.
For recipes and videos, go to our website, sarahmoulton.com. Sarah's Weeknight Meals is made possible by Sunsweet and
Cooking is the first kind of love you know. It was starting when I was a child, with my grandmother doing fresh pasta, and now I transmit it to all the guests. It's something made specially for them.
Oceana Cruises, proud sponsor of Sarah's Weeknight Meals.